she's the baby and shit.
See, that's one that's gonna be fighting her 19th Amendment right to vote. Be like, look, it's too much trouble to vote, right?
That's right.
That's the one.
What happened to your boy? I can never remember his name. The Twitter guy. Is that off now?
Huh?
The guy that bought Twitter, is that off?
Oh, Elon Musk. Yeah. Elon Musk has pulled the offer for Twitter. So that's funny as fuck. I love this because first of all, these mergers, when it was like put through, and he goes out and goes, it's not about the money. It's about protecting the town square. Okay. What do you keep doing with your computer? What do you?
No, I'm sorry. I'm trying to look at the form. I apologize. Here we go.
So he goes, look, we're going to protect the town square. So when he got in, he said, give me all the information on the bots, give me this. Twitter fucked around. I think Twitter sabotaged it. He has $1 billion in escrow that goes into the deal no matter what, apparently. Maybe there's an out there somewhere. He'll call it breach of contract, try to get his $1 billion back. But I think, here's what I think the play is here is a bigger play. People aren't reading this. He'll pull out of the deal. Twitter's going to tank. So their original value, his original valuation could come down $15-17 billion because they are not what they said they were. They said 5% bots. It's probably close to 50-60% bots. And if that's the case, you're talking about a huge change in valuation. Twitter's already fired hundreds of people prior to Elon even announcing this. So they knew it was coming and the valuation's going to tank. And I think Elon can then go in, even if he loses his $1 billion original escrow, which I'm sure there will be legal jostling about, he can come in and get this thing at a $15 billion discount or so and pick up the deal right where it is. So I think, let's put it this way. I don't know what's going to happen. This does not mean the chess pieces are off the board.
All right. So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What do you, just your hunch, because you couldn't know, I don't think, is this happenstance, or do you think he planned before he even talked about buying it that this would happen?
No, I don't think this sort of stuff, if you plan this and it's malicious, you open yourself up to huge lawsuits.
No, if he planned to expose how many bots they have.
Well, he clearly asked for that data, and he's not allowed to divulge the data because when you sign these agreements, there's all sorts of privacy. He if you notice, he was tweeting a little bit in the beginning and completely stopped. That's because his attorneys told him to shut the fuck up. There's too many accidental things that you can say that will materially cause damage to the company you're trying to buy. Right. That is a huge no-no, ethically and especially financially. So he's got to walk that tightrope. If this thing does fall apart and the value goes down, it has to be because they didn't provide what he needed and because they lied, and their culpability has to go on the company, for being honest, and providing the right data. And then at that point, he can resubmit another bid and do it all over again in a much lower valuation. And the board still has to do what's best for the shareholders. The good thing about that from Elon's perspective is he could save billions of dollars. And at the same time, he's already started the due diligence. So the next time around, there could be less contingencies. So the next bid could be like, look, this is as is. I know that you guys aren't providing all the data, everything else. The original was this. I'm going to knock 15 billion. It's as is. You still have to take it because it's still 25% more than the value of the stock. It's still good for the stockholders. And if you don't take it, you're opening yourselves up as board members to the liability of not doing what's in your fiduciary duty for the stockholders of the entity. So I'm throwing it out there that it does not mean that this is over. The chess game is still active. I don't know where it'll go, but this could just be another quarter. We could be entering the fourth quarter of the game, or it might be over. You know, he might just say, fuck it. You know, I'm done. But
You wonder what drives a guy like that to want to have these headaches.
I think he really wanted to protect free speech. And that's what makes me think he's not done yet.
Yeah.
You know, just he might have uncovered so much syphilis and AIDS and debauchery and cancer in that organization that he might say, fuck, like, and knowing him, he's like, well, how can I AI all these people out of here? Like, how can I AI all the rules that I want and fire every single one of these motherfuckers and just have a small group of people to manage the AI?
Right.
Because these people all have biases and that's just never going to change. I can bring in my own whatever. But if he ran through the computations on, you know, how to get rid of all these cancers, what the cost of buying them out of their contracts would be, the risk of litigation, start carry the two, you know, he's weighing the money of what it's going to cost to do it. At some point, he might just say it's not fucking worth it. This. In the meantime, if he were actually to do this, I think Twitter would be worth a lot of money. You'd be bringing in a lot of businesses, you know, like mine, that would say, "Hey, I would like to advertise on an ethical company that's not going to suppress based on what you think," because I have zero respect for that. I'm just a big First Amendment guy. And there's a lot more like me that are sitting on the sidelines going, fuck, I don't want to put my money in Twitter. These guys are a bunch of fucking cocksuckers, you know? Anybody who's shunning the Babylon Bee, that's not somebody I want to actually do business with. Those fuckers are funny. You got to protect humor at all costs. And on that note, Andrew Schultz, we have to give him a shout out. Do you know about the Schultz story?
Tell me about it.
So Schultz, he sold his comedy special to Amazon Prime, although that's, you know, not named by him. Okay, it's just a streaming service, but it's apparently Amazon Prime. They looked at what he submitted and said, you need to take out this joke. You need to take out the abortion jokes. You need to do, they basically tried to water down his comedy. They'd given him $1 million advance for his special. He said, I'm not going to take a single fucking thing out, gave him back the $1 million, owned his property, and took it private. So he said, I'm going to open this up. Here's the story. I'm not going to name who did it, but I'm going to release this myself. If you guys can support, it's $15. He made his $1 million back in like 2 days. So he took the power away from the streaming services.
That's beautiful.
Threw his nuts on the table for comedy and hard comedy. I bought the special because I you know, care about that and admire that.
That's what you just said. Put your nuts on the table. That's beautiful.
And so Andrew Schultz, cheers, man. Good job for doing that, and for everybody who supported him, good job as well, because you can't water down comedy.
Is that our American of the week? Our tribute to our what is it? Our favorite American? Is that what it is?
Our hero of the week.
Hero, Andrew American Schultz, hero of the week.
Standing up for free speech in comedy, because really at the end of the day, free speech is really the spear of free speech are our great comedians in this country that are out there fighting, you know, in person with all these people that are a little sensitive or not so sensitive, but they're out there doing the hard work. And for Schultz to actually take $1 million that he was paid and send it